Hi guys, how you doing? Rape culture. It is a setting in which rape is pervasive and normalized due to societal attitudes about gender and sexuality. Now, whatever I'm going to say, hear me out, and you can be the judge of whether I'm right or wrong at the end. In 2012, there was a push to make rape laws gender neutral in India, but there was strong opposition from feminist groups. Here are some of the statements given by these groups. Quote, put simply, unlike in existing law where the accused is male, the committee recommendations, if enacted into a proposed new bill, will make it possible for women to be charged with these offences. This is wholly unacceptable. End quote. It is unacceptable that women can be considered as perpetrators. Yep. Quote, it is an act of violence that must be seen in the context of deeply entrenched power inequalities between men and women in our society. Gender-neutral provisions only strengthen those already powerful, silencing the real victims. We'll come back to this point in some time. Activists argue that apart from situations where women hold positions of authority, in all other situations, making the accused gender-neutral means the complaints by women can be met with counter-complaints to build pressure on them to withdraw their complaint. We'll come back to this statement as well. Now, let us have a look at the rape laws in India. We'll go right into the limbs of the law. First, against her will. An average man is stronger than an average woman, but there are overlaps. A woman, if stronger than a man, can force him to have sex against his will. If you're one of those people who thinks a guy has to be turned on for his dick to be erect, get your head examined. Secondly, without her consent. Men can be forced to have sex without their consent too. Under this, there is a condition that deals with promise to marry. If a man has promised to marry and they have had sex, he can be charged with rape. A guy breaking up with his girlfriend can be considered a rapist and can be accused to be one. Using this law, a man can be forced to marry a woman even if he does not want to, just to avoid persecution and jail time. I'm sure you've heard it said in the media, girl in India forced to marry a rapist. These are the cases that you probably hear. These are the cases where the guy was forced to marry the girl to avoid being charged with rape. What about the girl that breaks up after promising to marry? It's her right to break up. Her body, her choice. His body, her choice too. Let's go back to one of the statements said about rape by the activists. It is an act of violence. This part of the law has absolutely nothing to do with power or violence. Could this limb of the law be made gender neutral? Thirdly, with her consent. When her consent has been obtained by putting her or any person in whom she is interested in fear of death or of hurt. Again, can a woman not blackmail a man into having sex? For instance, have sex with me or I'll report you for rape. A woman's word is believed where she cries rape. So in this situation, the man has no choice. There are several other scenarios I can provide, but I think that one is enough to make my point. I'm skipping the fourth limb because it deals with fake marriages. Fifthly, I'm not going to read this one because it's fairly long. It talks about drugging a girl, getting a girl drunk, any instances where a girl is unable to give consent because she doesn't know what she's giving consent for. She's either too drunk or too high. Now, my question is, can a man not be drugged? Hell, if a man is drugged, a woman can easily overpower him and rape him, can she not? Sixthly, with or without her consent, when she is under 18 years of age. Two minors have consensual sex and the guy is a rapist. technically, they're both minors. They're both fucking rapists. This part would get thrown out if this was gender neutral, and would save a lot of boys who are charged with rape after participating in consensual sex. Rape committed according to 2 of the 6 limbs can be brutal and violent. The others are subjective. Coercion plays a big part in some of them. One of the statements given by the feminists state that a rape accusation will be met with a counter-complaint to build pressure on them to withdraw the complaint. Now the reason she says rape laws should not be gender neutral is so that men don't misuse the laws. That seems like a fair reason. But what about this?
Okay, now please let the others who haven't spoken speak.
I will not say that there is no frivolous litigation. You cannot do away with the law only because it's going to be misused.
You know, as a lawyer, I can safely say that many laws, every law has the potential to be abused.
Yeah.
Theft,
Yeah.
defamation, anti-defection, since we've got parliamentarians and politicians in the house. You know, tell me a single law that does not.
This was a discussion on NDTV's We the People to make marital rape legal. I know it's screwed up that we've been having a debate about marital rape. But since the rape law is gender biased, many people feel that this law will be misused like the Domestic Violence Act. Make no mistake, women are protected from sexual violence in a marriage within the Domestic Violence Act. So it is illegal to rape your wife. Anyway, the link to the whole video is in the description. Go ahead and watch it if you want to see the whole discussion. So, laws that are grossly misused by women can stay, but rape law cannot be gender neutral because men will misuse it. The hypocrisy is strong in feminism. But of course, that's not something new. Getting back to the main point. What happens when a woman cries rape? Men are arrested, their due process rights are overlooked, their name is dragged through the mud, their jobs are lost, and they are abandoned by society. The whole country erupts asking for the man's head. Guilty until proven innocent. Does that sound like rape is normalized in India? Now, what happens when a man claims he was raped? A man going to the police station claiming he was raped will be laughed at and ridiculed. There are lots of different myths surrounding male rape, like the fact that they wanted some, or even he's just lucky. This is said even when they're kids. He will also be treated with gems like, dude, you got laid? How was she? Did you fucking have fun? High five, man. I wish I could get raped by a woman. Only if they knew. I do not know if rape of men is pervasive because we have no study or organization looking into such cases. The Indian law blatantly denies men can be raped. Hell, many believe it is impossible. But it is normalized. This is what normalization of rape is. This is the rape culture I see in India. Rape of men and boys. Not recognized by society. Not even by the authorities that are supposed to protect its citizens. Rape culture is prevalent in India, but not the way you see it. Thanks for listening. You can judge and criticize me all you like now. Leave your comments below. And if you want to get more of my videos, click the damn subscribe button. Cheers.